Hi, I'm Dan Willett. I'm the oboe teacher at the MU School of Music, and I have the pleasure of performing on the next Odyssey concert two works with a couple of my colleagues, Wes Warnhoff on clarinet and Ayako Tsuruta on piano. We'll be doing two works which were not originally composed for the instrumental combination that you will be hearing on this program, but rather they are transcriptions. The first one is by Johann Sebastian Bach, and it is a chorale from Cantata number 140. It's entitled Wachet auf, ruft uns die Stimme, or Wake Up, calls to us the voice. Bach composed this cantata based on a Lutheran hymn by Philippe Nicolai, and these three verses appear at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the cantata. The opening is for four-part choir and orchestra. That's verse 1. Verse 2 is in the middle, which we'll be playing, and that's scored for tenors singing unison the melody, an obbligato counterpoint by the first violins, and then continuo. The last verse of the hymn appears at the end of the cantata in simple, straightforward four-part Bach-style choral writing. In between are recitatives and duets, which complete the narrative. This particular piece for me, this setting of the second verse, is special to me because when I was a child, growing up in Okemos, Michigan, very near Michigan State University, WKAR, the classical station, had an afternoon program, and the theme song for that was this particular hymn, verse of the hymn setting from this cantata. Many of you will recognize it. It's very widely played among all of Bach's cantatas. This is one of the most frequently performed, and this particular chorale setting is a standout. Like I said before, it's scored for unison first violins on an obbligato, tenors singing the unison choral tune, and then continuo below it. In this particular setting that I've arranged for clarinet, oboe, and piano, we get to trade roles, and all three of us will have the hymn tune at some time, the obbligato at other times, a few spots where we're doubled either at the unison or the octave. So equally privileged at the various roles within that piece. The second piece is by Franz Schubert. It's a work entitled Der Hirt auf dem Felsen, or The Shepherd on the Rock. This is a tremendously popular piece among clarinetists. It's a standout in their repertoire. It's basically an art song, or actually sort of a fusion of three little art songs for voice, soprano, and then a clarinet obbligato accompanying that, and then a piano part written for that as well. This was, like many of Schubert's late works, not performed or published until after his death. As a matter of fact, this is the last thing he wrote, merely a month before his death, so a special quality there. Schubert picked three poems by Wilhelm Müller and Karl August Wernhagen. And so three of these poems that he sets out here, Müller for part 1 and part 3, and Wernhagen for part 2. As I said before, you could view these as three little art songs, but Schubert connects them through musically in a through-composed manner, as we call it, to form one connected musical stream. Rather than read for you the text of the poem, I'll just give you my summary. The setting is up in the mountains in the Alps. And the three poems form the three parts here. Part 1, basically, it's here I am in the mountains. The yodeling is excellent. Part 2 is I'm lonely and depressed. Part 3 is but spring is coming. And that, in essence, is the emotional, the dramatic arch presented with these three parts. First one is in major, the second in minor, the third in major. The tempos are basically fast, slow, and fast. one musically descriptive detail, which I especially appreciate, is a melodic fragment involving a wide leap up and back down, dum ba da dum, bum ba da dum, which we hear in all the voices at times, all the instrumental voices here, and it sounds like yodeling music. So that was no accident, in my opinion. Here, the only alteration is the role that I'm playing. The clarinet and piano are playing their parts exactly as Schubert wrote them. I'm playing on oboe the role of the soprano, note for note. Just my diction is not very good. I will make one closing shameless plug here. These two works, the Bach and the Schubert, are included on an album of multiple works for clarinet, oboe, and piano, which Wes and I recorded with pianist Natalia Bolshakova. That is still in process of addition and engineering. We hope that that CD will be released before the end of the year. So I encourage you to keep your eyes out for that. If you like what you hear on this program, there are more pieces added to that in a wide variety of styles on that upcoming CD. Thank you.